If someone asked you to picture one of the deadliest places on Earth, you'd probably imagine an erupting volcano, an earthquake, a tsunami, or perhaps somewhere so hostile that life simply cannot survive. But what if one of Earth's deadliest places looked beautiful? Hidden within the highlands of northwestern Cameroon lies a lake so peaceful that it almost feels untouched by time. Its water is perfectly still. Its cliffs are covered in lush green vegetation. Birds soar effortlessly above its surface. From a distance, it looks like paradise. Nothing about this place suggests danger. No boiling water, no poisonous fumes, no warning signs, no roar of an active volcano. Just silence, the kind of silence that convinces you everything is safe. This is Lake Nyos. A lake unlike any other on Earth, because beneath its calm surface, it hides something invisible, something powerful enough to wipe out entire valleys, something so unusual that, for years, scientists struggled to understand what had happened. On the night of August 21, 1986, Lake Nyos reminded humanity that our planet is still capable of doing things that seem impossible. Without fire, without lava, without an earthquake, without even a sound, by sunrise, more than 1,700 people were gone. Thousands of animals had collapsed where they stood. The forests remained untouched. The houses still stood. Nothing appeared damaged. It was as if life itself had simply stopped. For decades, stories spread across the region. Some believed the lake was cursed. Others blamed spirits. Some even believed an invisible weapon had been unleashed. The truth turned out to be stranger than every legend. Because Lake Nyos wasn't haunted. It wasn't poisoned. And it wasn't trying to kill anyone. It was simply following the laws of nature. Laws so extraordinary that they occur in only a handful of places on the entire planet. Today, Lake Nyos appears as calm as it always has. Visitors can stand on its shores, look across its glass-like surface, and never realize that beneath them, the earth is still breathing. To understand how a lake became one of the deadliest natural phenomena ever recorded, we have to begin millions of years before the lake itself even existed. Because this story didn't begin with water, it began with fire. Long before there was a lake, there was a volcano. The landscape surrounding Lake Nyos is part of the Cameroon volcanic line, one of Africa's most fascinating geological regions. Stretching for more than 1,600 kilometers, it is a chain of volcanoes, mountains, lava fields, and ancient craters that have shaped this part of the continent for millions of years. Some of these volcanoes still stand proudly against the horizon. Others have long since disappeared, erased by time, buried beneath forests, hidden beneath lakes. Lake Nyos is one of those forgotten volcanoes. Thousands of years ago, molten rock surged upward from deep within the Earth's mantle. Pressure built slowly beneath the surface. Eventually, the volcano erupted, not in a single catastrophic explosion, but through countless eruptions spread across thousands of years. Each eruption added another layer, another flow of lava, another blanket of volcanic ash. Gradually, a mountain was born. Then, just as every volcano eventually does, it grew quiet. Its eruptions became less frequent. Its magma chamber cooled. Rain began to fall. Year after year, century after century, water collected inside the enormous crater left behind by the volcano. Small streams carried fresh water into the basin. The crater slowly filled, until one day, a lake occupied the place where fire had once ruled. To anyone standing on its shores, it appeared as though nature had healed itself. The violence was over. The volcano was dead, or so it seemed, because volcanoes rarely disappear completely. Even after the lava stops flowing, even after the mountains stop growing, the earth beneath them often remains alive. Far below Lake Nyos, several kilometers beneath the lakebed, molten rock still exists. Not close enough to erupt, but close enough to release something else. Every day, tiny amounts of carbon dioxide escape from this magma. The gas rises slowly through cracks in the Earth's crust. Eventually, it reaches the bottom of the lake. Most lakes would simply allow the gas to escape. The bubbles would rise to the surface, burst, and disappear harmlessly into the atmosphere. But Lake Nyos isn't like most lakes. Its shape makes it different. Its depth makes it different. And the climate surrounding it makes it different. The lake is more than 200 meters deep. The deeper the water, the greater the pressure. And pressure changes everything. Imagine opening a bottle of sparkling water. Before you twist the cap, the carbon dioxide remains trapped inside. The gas cannot escape because the pressure keeps it dissolved within the liquid. Only when the pressure is released do thousands of bubbles suddenly appear. Lake Nyos behaved like a giant sealed bottle, except instead of holding a few liters of sparkling water, it held millions of tons of water. And instead of trapping a harmless amount of gas, it was quietly storing enormous quantities of carbon dioxide. Year after year, more gas seeped upward from the Earth's interior. Year after year, the deep waters absorbed it. The lake became an enormous underground storage tank, invisible, silent, growing more dangerous with every passing decade. No smell, no color, no warning. Above the surface, birds continued flying, trees continued growing, rain continued falling. Everything looked perfectly ordinary, yet beneath the calm blue water, pressure continued building. The remarkable thing is that no one knew. The people living nearby had no reason to suspect anything unusual. For years, the lake remained perfectly stable, until one night, something disturbed the balance, and everything changed in a matter of minutes. For years, scientists debated exactly what triggered the disaster. Was it a landslide, a small earthquake, a sudden drop in temperature, or perhaps a powerful storm that churned the lake's waters? Even today, no one can say with complete certainty, but they do know what happened next. Somehow, the deep waters of Lake Nyos were disturbed. Water that had remained isolated for decades suddenly began rising toward the surface. As it rose, the pressure surrounding it rapidly decreased, and just like opening a bottle of sparkling water, the dissolved carbon dioxide began escaping. At first, only a few bubbles formed. Then, those bubbles caused even more deep water to rise, which released even more gas, which lifted even more water. Within seconds, the process fed itself, a chain reaction unlike anything most people had ever imagined. The lake had reached its breaking point. Then, it exploded, not with fire, not with lava, but with gas. An enormous column of carbon dioxide burst upward from the center of the lake. Witnesses who later examined the scene estimated the fountain may have risen nearly 100 meters into the air. The eruption sent millions of cubic meters of invisible gas pouring out of the lake. And then, gravity took over. Carbon dioxide is different from the air we breathe. The atmosphere around us is mostly nitrogen and oxygen. Carbon dioxide is significantly heavier. Instead of rising into the sky, it sinks. It flows, almost like water. The invisible cloud spilled over the rim of the crater. It crept silently down every valley. It followed riverbeds. It wrapped around hills. It filled low-lying areas, moving at incredible speed, completely invisible, completely silent, completely unstoppable. There was no smell, no color, no warning. The cloud simply replaced the oxygen. Anyone caught inside it continued breathing, but every breath contained less and less oxygen. Within moments, people became dizzy, then confused, then unconscious. Many never realized anything was wrong. Some collapsed where they stood. Others were found lying peacefully in their beds. Entire families remained exactly where they had fallen asleep. There were no signs of struggle, no widespread panic, no desperate attempt to escape, because you cannot run from something you cannot see. Livestock collapsed in open fields. Birds dropped from the sky. Wild animals disappeared into the silence. Even insects vanished from some of the affected areas. The cloud continued traveling for more than 20 kilometers through surrounding valleys. Everything below it was suddenly deprived of oxygen. Then, as quietly as it had arrived, the gas slowly dispersed into the atmosphere. By sunrise, the invisible killer was gone. The lake was calm once again. Its surface reflected the morning sky as though nothing had happened. There were no burning forests, no shattered buildings, no smoking crater, just an ordinary volcanic lake, resting peacefully beneath the African sun. It looked innocent, as if the events of the night before had never happened. That was perhaps the most unsettling part of all. Nature had unleashed one of its deadliest phenomena, and left behind almost no visible evidence. Only questions, hundreds of them, because no one had ever seen a lake kill like this before. After sunrise, the silence became even more unsettling. Entire villages appeared untouched. Homes still stood. Cooking pots remained where they had been left. Livestock lay motionless in open fields. There were no burn marks, no flood damage, no signs of violence. It looked as though life had simply stopped. When scientists finally arrived, they faced a mystery unlike anything they had encountered before. At first, many suspected a volcanic eruption. Others believed poisonous chemicals had contaminated the water. Some even considered the possibility of an unknown biological agent. But every theory collapsed under closer examination. The lake showed no signs of erupting. The surrounding vegetation remained largely intact. No toxins could explain why the damage followed the valleys so precisely. Then came the breakthrough. Samples collected from the lake revealed astonishing concentrations of dissolved carbon dioxide hidden within its deepest waters. The invisible killer had finally been identified. It wasn't the water that had become deadly. It was what the water had been quietly storing for decades. Scientists gave this extraordinary phenomenon a name: a limnic eruption, one of the rarest natural disasters on Earth. That is why engineers and scientists now work continuously to reduce the danger. At Lake Nyos, long vertical pipes extend deep into the lake. These degassing systems slowly draw carbon dioxide-rich water upward, allowing the gas to escape safely into the atmosphere before pressure can build again. It is an elegant solution. Instead of waiting for nature to release the pressure all at once, humans carefully release it a little at a time. The lake still holds carbon dioxide. The volcano beneath it still breathes. But today, it breathes more gently. Lake Nyos reminds us that Earth's greatest dangers are not always the loudest. Welcome to Planet Unknown, where every landscape has a story. And every story reminds us how little we truly know about the world beneath our feet.